I'm gonna give you 10 tips specifically for new YouTubers to help you grow your channel, and we're starting right now.
That's just how it is. Ain't waiting on me.
What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Okay, I get it. You're a new YouTuber. You are trying to get the ball rolling. You're trying to figure all this stuff out, and there's a lot to learn. So I'm gonna give you 10 things for you to keep in mind that are gonna help you grow your YouTube channel. Starting with number 1, it's all up to you. Here's the thing. The reason I say it's all up to you is because at the end of the day, it's all up to you. I can give you tips all day long. I can tell you how to get more watch time, how to get more views, how to get subscribers, all that stuff. But if you don't apply and if you don't take action and try to improve this stuff yourself and take personal responsibility, then you're probably gonna have a hard time here on YouTube. It's important to remember that your success is up to you. When it comes to motivation, it's up to you. When it comes to the discipline that kind of overrides motivation, it's up to you too. When it comes to learning how all this stuff works, which is why you're watching this video in the first place, when it comes to that, it's up to you to make sure that you learn and that you also apply what you learn so that you can give yourself the best chance at succeeding here. In application, actually applying the information that you learn is extremely important because just learning and hearing the information isn't enough. You gotta do it. Number 2, it's important to tap into or learn to tap into all of YouTube's discovery systems. Here's what I mean. On YouTube, there are several different ways that YouTube presents your content to other people. They have YouTube search, they have the browse features, they have all the suggestion features, they have all of that stuff, and it's your job as a content creator to figure out how to get traffic from all of them. And I'm gonna tell you right now how to do it. Basically, search traffic comes down to optimizing your videos for search, and what that means is basically you're using titles that people are actually looking for, and you're putting that title in your description when you're describing your video, and you're also using tags that also help describe what's happening in the title. So in a nutshell, what you're doing is you are basically picking a keyword or a phrase that you are trying to make your video show up when somebody searches for that particular keyword or phrase. As part of that search side of things, your thumbnail and your title is extremely important because if people are not clicking at those at a respectable rate, then YouTube isn't going to show your content when people are looking for stuff. Your ability to keep people watching your video and keep people interacting in your video in terms of comments, liking your video, disliking your video, sharing your video, things like that, those are all also important factors when it comes to getting a video to show up in search. And another thing that's helpful when it comes to showing up in search is making sure that you're actually going after the right topics that you actually have a chance to show up in search for. Another thing that you are going to try to get into is you're going to try to get into the browse features. You're going to try to get into the suggested videos. Now, how you do that is this. YouTube is going to connect your videos topically to other videos, which will pull you into suggested if and only if people are clicking on your thumbnails and titles at a high rate and they're coming in and they're watching your video for a respectable amount of time. Are you starting to see a pattern here? I am. When it comes to browse features, the same exact thing applies. Thumbnails, titles, keep people watching, keep people engaging in your content. And if you don't know how to do all that stuff yet, again, TubeBuddy has the thing to help you make sure that your thumbnails are on point. But in terms of the engagement, I actually have videos on my channel about how to generate more engagement. I'll put links to those in the description as well. The third tip, which is gonna be kind of rippled from what I just said, is it is extremely important to learn how to keep people watching your videos. And YouTube actually makes it pretty easy for us to identify the things that make people leave and the things that make people stay. If you're a new YouTuber, you may or may not know that inside of your analytics, inside of your YouTube admin panel, you actually have access to something called the audience retention reports. Now, in the audience retention reports, what that is that actually shows you second by second how people respond to each piece of content that you upload so that you can look at that and you can identify problem areas. Once you identify those problem areas, then you can say, hey, what I noticed is when I do this particular thing in my videos, people tend to leave. And then when I do these particular things, people seem to rewind or they seem to basically just stay in the video. But analyzing your audience retention reports and taking notes on the things that you think make people stay or make people leave is really important because over time, you're gonna start to notice patterns. And then when you notice those patterns, then you can experiment and you can make videos with or without those things so that you can confirm or deny. I mean, disprove the theories that you have about why people stay or why people go. But anyway, YouTube gives us all of that information inside of those audience retention reports so that you can make sure that you can learn over time how to keep your viewers watching. Number 4, your thumbnails and titles are like 90% of the game. If you can't make good thumbnails and titles, then nobody's ever gonna get to your videos because your thumbnails and your titles suck. What I mean by that is you can have the best video in the entire world. It's the best video on earth. But if people are not clicking on that video and they're not coming in and watching it, then nobody's ever gonna know. However, if your video is okay, or it's at least as good as the other people who are making videos on the same topics, but your thumbnails and your titles are awesome, well, you're gonna be okay, and you're gonna do good, you're gonna get views, and your channel's gonna grow. But it's important that you spend the time making sure that the thumbnails that you are making are effective and the titles that you're making are effective. And that's one of the things that TubeBuddy tool that I showed you a little bit ago, that's one of the things that will actually help you do that with their A/B testing tool. Number 5, your presentation matters. How you communicate on camera is a huge thing. So with thumbnails and titles being like 90% of the game, presentation is also 90% of the game. I know I'm not the best at math, but hear me out. If somebody comes into your video, one of the things that you can do to keep them watching for a longer period of time is to present in an engaging way. I don't mean that you're being crazy. I don't mean that you're being even high energy, but you need to be able to communicate in a way that people respond to. Across different niches, that means a bunch of different things. So what you need to do, and this goes back to number 1 in terms of being responsible for your own success, what you need to do is you need to study how people in your niche communicate. The channels that are doing really well, you need to study how they communicate. How do they present in their videos? And then you need to say, okay, well, this is how they present in their videos. I think it's fantastic, or I think it sucks. I think I can do better, whatever it happens to be. But that's just going to give you a standard. And then once you know that standard, then you can try to go above that standard or just experiment to see if you can do it in a unique or better way. But if your presentation needs a lot of work, then you're going to see it. You're going to see it in your audience retention reports, and it's up to you to make sure that you keep trying to refine your presentation in order to be able to make the best possible product or the best possible YouTube video, which as a creator is your product. Number 6, and it really pains me to say this, but not all of the YouTube advice that you're going to hear is right for you. So people like me that share this type of advice, we share stuff that tends to work across most channels. However, it's important that you learn, and again, this goes back to number 1, it's important that you experiment with the information that we tell you and that you apply it and that you see what does and doesn't work for your specific space. And by space, I mean the type of content that you make. For example, if you're making music videos, it doesn't make much sense to interrupt that music video in the very beginning with an introduction and a hook and all that good stuff. You want to actually make a music video. So because of that, the exact advice that we give might not necessarily apply directly to that part of it. But for all of us that share that information, we pull that information from people that we've worked with or channels that we've reviewed or whatever it happens to be, and we give the general version to you because there's so many people that are watching these videos. We want to make sure that we share the stuff that applies to the most people. So it's up to you to take that advice and then experiment with it on your own channel. And when you're experimenting, give it time to work, right? Because if you just do something once, then you don't really know if it's gonna work or not, but keep trying it and give things time to work. But not all the advice you hear is gonna be right for you. And that is why it's extremely important to experiment. Number 7 is application and taking action is everything. You can consume content all day long, but if you're not applying the stuff, if you're not taking steps every day to try to get better, and if you are just like sitting back and you're like, well, I'll work on this like once a week, yeah, you can get better over time, but if you are not actively learning, if you're not actively applying all this stuff, if you're not actively experimenting, if you're not actively trying to figure out what's best for your audience, you're gonna have a hard time. So get into the habit of taking action on what it is that you're trying to accomplish so that you're taking steps towards it every day. Because here's the thing, there's nothing that creates a deeper understanding than actually doing something. Number 8, it's important for you to know, just so you stop looking for it, it's important for you to know that there's not one thing that's just gonna make your channel explode. It's actually a grouping of things. It's all of the things that will make your channel do well. It's not just the one button that you might be looking for that's gonna fix fix it all. It's actually a bunch of buttons and you have to press them all, and you got to press them all the time. The next tip is this. If you are trying to make money from your YouTube channel, you have to do things that will help you make money. It will be extremely helpful for you to learn how affiliate marketing works. It'll be extremely helpful for you to learn how sponsorships work. Depending on how much money that you want to make and how you want to make that money, it might also be important for you to learn how to do other things that are off of YouTube in order to actually make that happen. Because unfortunately, there's not a magic money fairy here on YouTube. It's not something that's just going to be laid out for you. So you have to take action to make all of that stuff happen. And if you don't, then it's either gonna take a really long time for it to happen, or it's not gonna happen at all. Next on the list is this. If you want to have a big YouTube channel and you wanna have a lot of people watching you and interacting with what it is that you're doing, it's important that you actually handle yourself in that way. Here's what I mean. There's certain things that people with big YouTube channels have. One of those is confidence. So what you have to do as a content creator is you have to put yourself in the mindset of already having a big channel. And here's where that's gonna help you. You're going to communicate in your videos like you already have a big channel, which means that when people are watching it, that you're going to feel like a bigger channel. That also means that you are going to work on the quality of your videos, the quality of your delivery, the quality of your thumbnails, your titles, all of it, that you're gonna work on all that stuff because that's what bigger channels do. Taking that mindset of a larger channel, you're also going to embrace the community that you're building, and you're going to own the role as the leader of that community around your channel. That also means that you are taking it seriously, because a lot of people, especially when they're new creators and they're just getting started, they are basically walking down the path, so to speak, and they think, well, I'll start taking this seriously when it starts working out for me. However, if you look at that in reverse and you look at it like, well, I'm going to take this seriously so that it works out for me, you're greatly increasing your chances of succeeding here on YouTube. Now, as a new content creator, there's gonna be stuff that you are going to need for your YouTube channel. I actually put out a video recently right here that you can check out on tools for YouTubers. So go and watch that now. And to learn more about growing your channel, making videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.